Hello and welcome to the YouTube coverage of the National Singles Semi-Final between Grant Lamy and Mike Sackfield. I'm Shaun Blackbourn and I'm joined by Teri Anderson in the commentary box. Teri, looks like a pretty good matchup here.
I'm thinking it'll be a great matchup, Shaun. Mike Sackfield's been there before, Grant Lamy's been there before. This is not new territory for them.
No, you're right. It looks like Grant's possibly won the toss there and sent Mike in to start. He's just throwing the jack. Bit of an overthrow.
That means Grant Lamy gets to place it. Usually players place it where they prefer it, where they feel most comfortable with the length.
Yeah, so it looks like we're about a foot up from the top of the box there, and Mike's had a pretty good start really. He's just cut his green slightly, but he's got his weight pretty good.
Yeah, it's the first end, so both players will just be feeling out the mat, the weight and the green. No doubt a few ends into it, they'll be right all over it.
Yeah, I mean Grant there, he's just giving his bowl a chance, taking plenty of green, seeing what it does, and yeah, he got the weight pretty good as well.
You can see Mike there just wondering which hand to play already, but he's just going to stick to the backhand draw. There was an option on the forehand, just to play reaching weight through the split or the black or the yellow. He had options.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's just cut his green slightly. He had pretty good weight because he did move that bowl an inch or two. So if he'd have snuck round it, he probably would have had a really good shot. But nothing too detrimental at this stage.
Yeah, it's definitely a good idea just to keep drawing, I think, on those first few bowls. Just, yeah, like we said before, getting a feel for that weight. Grant Lamy's put in a good position bowl there. That'll give him something to play to later on in the end anyway.
Yeah, I think Mike's just trying to match the same. Either turn that black around or just sneak past it. Yeah, he's touched the black onto the jack nicely.
Definitely change the head. He's holding one black. Grant Lamy's coming up to inspect the head. I'd say his shot will be on the forehand. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Mike may have just opened up a bit of a shot there for Grant to come down onto the yellow and potentially, move the black out of the way a bit and maybe move the jack a fraction towards the back to his yellow.
Hard to see with this camera angle whether the jack's moving or whether that black's going out clean, but we'll find out in a second. Oh, it's just a fraction wide.
Yeah, he probably had quite good weight, really. He didn't have driving weight to disturb it too much, but had enough to move bowls, as seen where that black is now.
Mike's having a look, seeing where the jack could go if it is moving. Looking at Lamy's shot there.
I think he'll just be trying to draw one around the back, just covering so that the jack does move a bit. He's still got one reasonably close.
Yeah, the closer he is to the jack or his shot bowl, he'll be locking it in, but if he's around behind, then he'll definitely be protecting any jack movement.
Yeah, it does look to be quite a big swing that side, no matter how wide he went, he just kept managing to run into the edge of his front bowl each time, really. So, yeah, maybe just a slight adjustment needed coming back next time.
Lamy having a look to see if anything's changed. I think he's a little bit has changed, but it's still the same shot. He'll still be looking for that yellow or yellows.
Yeah, I think you're right. He may not play with as much weight as his last attempt, but the shot's still on. Yeah, he's just coming down with a good...
Very similar weight. Oh, that black was going clean, but unfortunately it just rolled back in. So
Yeah, maybe just caught it a fraction on the wide side and went one down. So one to Mike. He'll be happy with that start.
definitely takes the heat off. There's a lot of pressure in the semi-final and does settle those nerves, I think, scoring on that first end.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you can't see it, but there is a fairly large crowd built up for the final few games, and they do make a fair bit of noise as well. So you've got to keep your focus. But like you say, Terry, both bowlers have been there before. Mike's won the New Zealand triples in 2001, and who was that with?
That was with Brent Bigger and his wife Jenny Sackfield. And he also has two runner-ups
He runner-up in 2006 in the national pairs.
in 2007 in the national fours.
So yeah, I mean he's definitely been in this environment before. so he knows what he's got to do and what he's trying to achieve.
Yeah, he certainly gives it a good shot at the Nationals each year. He's knocking at the door. He makes quarterfinals in the last 16. And I'd like to describe him as a fearless player. He's got no fear.
You're right, Teri. Yeah, I mean he is one of a few colourful characters around in the bowling scene. You know, everywhere you go, people tend to know the name, and yeah, very fearless, I'd say. Very aggressive game style at times.
Yep, Grant Lamy, very classy bowler, arguably the best in the country at the moment. Definitely one of them.
Yeah, if not one of the best the country's ever
Seen.
seen, really. I mean, we're going to have a fair job to get through his record by the end of the match, but we'll give it a go and see how we get on. He's had a pretty good start to this head. Mike's just fallen short with his first two bowls, and he's tried to make sure he's reaching the head with his third and just snuck past. So
the perfect bowl for Grant Lamy will probably be drawing right in front of that jack, but it won't be easy to do. So especially on the second end.
yeah,
He's drawing around behind, which is just as good. I mean, it's always good to have position.
yeah, and I don't think Mike has a lot on at this stage. Definitely not to score multiples. I think he'll be looking to minimise the damage by maybe just drawing around his black there, or even and touching it up, you know, a couple of inches to maybe sit as a toucher and maybe get the shot. But
Yep, I'd draw as close as I could if I were Mike, and that way you're either drawing a shot or you're making it as hard as you can for Grant Lamy to get a second.
that's right, because I mean that's one of Grant's very good assets, I guess, is that he can make you pay, even if you're not having a bad
Mike's
head.
on the backhand here,
Oh, you're right.
playing with weight. I think he might have been looking for that black on the left to chip the yellow out, but it definitely was an easy shot. It was not an easy
No,
shot.
no, you're right. But yeah, as I was saying, Grant's one of his great assets is making his opposition pay. Quite often you won't have that bad a head, and with his last bowl he'll really change it and make you pay with a 3 or 4, especially in a game of singles, and that's quite crucial at times.
Interesting that he's having a look there. I would have thought he would have gotten straight down, drawn a bonus two, and if he or bonus shot, and if he moved the jack, there's a bonus extra possibly. But
Played quite
playing with
aggressive.
weight.
Tried to
He was definitely looking for four this end.
yeah, trying to work through and maybe get an edge off the front black and a bit of movement on the jack there, but
Didn't work out for him this time, but he would have assessed the risk and reward in
yep.
that
Yeah,
situation. And
he knew that Mike only had one out the side, so potentially, you know, going down a maximum of one, which is what happened. So early on as well, you know, 2-0 after two ends isn't that bad. Whereas if they'd got a 4 there, you know, 4-1 up after two, you're off to a rocketing start.
yeah, he would have felt comfortable with that. He knows it's early ends. He'll be happy.
Yep. And Mike's may have given Mike a bit more confidence too, you know. Maybe not having his best end and still coming away with the shot. So he's got down and drawn another great starting bowl.
How's Lamy going to reply?
Looks very good there, just behind the jack.
It's an awesome reply.
Well, I guess we'll start from the start with Grant Lamy. He's been around a fairly long time. You know, the Cliff Thompson Trophy is presented to the junior that goes the furthest, and he actually won that in 1992.
And when he did win that, he made the quarterfinals of the singles. So for a junior to make the last eight is a very impressive effort.
Yeah, I think barring one junior that's won it in the past, it's like I say a very rare feat.
Yes, Joseph Teri is the only junior to ever have won the New Zealand Championship singles, and I believe he was 17 at the time. Might have been in 1987.
Yeah, which is an outstanding effort for someone so young to be able to, you know, keep going under that sort of immense pressure.
Yes. So Grant will be looking to, I'd say, just get any contact on that black, move things around a bit.
Yeah, yeah, and if he does happen to come past the head, it's not going to be too bad either.
Definitely not wide.
No, he's looking
Getting
now
the
a
rub.
bit of an inside out shot there really, and
He would have seen the option there.
Yeah, it looks like it's set quite well for him, giving him a few opportunities with his last bowl anyway. He may be 1 or 2 down, but he won't be too concerned.
I think it's set a little unlucky for him, to be honest. His yellow just fell out of the head and he's still 2 down.
Yeah, you're right, Terry. I mean, like I say, I don't think he'll be too concerned at this stage, but we'll see what Mike can do here. I'm not too sure. He may just look to sit in the front there, in between the black and the yellow.
In front of the jack, or is there room around that black, in between that black and yellow?
I think it looks like he's just trying to sneak around it, which he's done, giving himself a little bit of position, so what a good shot.
He just rocked that jack a little closer our way, and I think that's worked well for him. He's changed the angles. The jack, if it is squeezing, will, if anything, go out to our right as we see it, rather than coming out to the back where yellow probably would have favoured the shot.
Well, he's playing with a bit of weight here, and he's just tried to rattle the jack around. We'll see what shot's taken out.
I think Grant Lamy conceded there.
Yep, you're right.
So it's 3-0 to Mike Sackfield after 3 ends. Lamy's only been dropping ones, but ones do add up.
You're right, yeah. I mean, it is nice to obviously to break the duck and get on the board for a bit of self-confidence, and especially, with the crowd, and you just want to, get underway and hopefully carry on from there. But Mike's got his tail up a bit here. He's made sure he's reaching, and he's just trailed the jack a fraction.
Yeah, I think Mike's getting into a little bit of a rhythm here.
Yeah, he's been going really, really well all day, from all accounts. Just, he hasn't actually played I haven't seen him play as aggressive today. I know, he's just been drawing, and yeah, it looks to be working for him quite well.
Grant Lamy touched the jack on the forehand and just sneaked in behind. Grant Lamy's been quite good this game so far, as far as putting in position bowls.
Yeah, he's been there or thereabouts, hence the reason he's only dropping ones. So even if he's not scoring,
yeah, he's certainly putting bowls on the head.
Yeah, he's definitely had a chance to score on each end, so he'll just be looking to capitalise on that now and
hone in closer.
Yeah, he's playing the forehand, looking to draw between the blacks again. Doesn't look too far away. Great shot there.
Yeah, it's a beautiful shot. I think he liked it too, just the way his body was following that. That rub off the black helped get him onto that jack with a good angle.
Yeah, Mike now coming up with quite a positive draw, just looking to peel the jack off, which he's done really well. May still be 1 down, but he's definitely changed the head.
Got that pretty clean, didn't he?
Yeah.
Blimey. If he draws a toucher here, it'll be pretty hard for Mike. All the bowls in the way.
Yep. He's standing up. I think he likes it, and he's just trying to will it on that last little bit. Great shot there.
Not far away at all.
Yeah, we can't quite tell how far away it is, obviously, but Mike's going up to have a look and assess his options.
Yeah. Will he stick with that backhand? That's where he's been playing this end?
Yeah. Yep. You're right. I think he will, and yep, he is. He's just probably looking to draw close. Second shot, if he can't actually get the shot. Coming down quite nicely. Just move the jack. Where's he got the shot? Grant giving a bit of a clap, so he could be 1 up. What a great shot that was.
Brilliant effort. It's not easy to draw a jack when you can't see it.
No, that's very, very true. One of the hardest things to achieve, I'd say.
Yeah, that's when it comes down to precision.
I think Grant will be looking to try and sit that black off the end of the mat here. It's a nice swinging hand. He might just be
following this one as well.
Has he got enough to sit it off? Oh, down the gap. Maybe enough for 2. Might have just touched the black a fraction.
We'll find out in a second. Yep, Mike is taking the shots out. There's 1.
I thought they might measure for 2 here. Grant played the last bowl, so it'll be his turn to measure. So as we're saying, Grant's got a raft of national titles.
Yes, he does. He's actually got a gold star, which he was awarded in 2002. And how many people have that now?
I think it is possibly 5.
5, yes. There's Sen Smith.
Yep.
There's Grant Lamy, Paul Pasila, Grant Rayner, Mike Phipps.
Yep, you're right. So, yeah, I mean, it's a pretty elite group of people. Grant is hoping today to become the first player to win all 4 disciplines, which would be a huge feat
Yeah.
in the bowls world. I mean, I know the triples wasn't around when Sen Smith was playing, but yeah, for someone to achieve a national title in all 4 events, just goes to show how much of an all-rounder he is.
Yeah, and he's got 7 national titles. If he goes on to win this will be his 8th. There's only one other player on 7 at the moment, and that's Paul Pasila.
Yeah, so he'll be looking to become the most national title holder in the ever and in the country as we speak. So yeah, it's a fair bit riding on him emotionally today. I think he'll be really hungry for the win. He'll know what's at stake. So he's come back with a touch there, and it was 2 shots. The umpire came along and did a measure for them. So 3-2 to Mike Sackfield after 4 ends.
Yeah, that was a great opener by Grant Lamy. Might just fallen a wee bit short there. His green was good.
Yeah, I think it's probably the first time he's played that hand coming this way. So might just be fraction different with the weight, with how much it's going to swing. So you won't be too disappointed with that.
Grant Lamy standing up again, following that bowl.
Not a bad effort, just a fraction short, but
it's quite handy. He'll probably hide the jack there. It's definitely made Mike's shot a lot harder.
You're right, he's having a good think about it.
Looks like he's going to go on the backhand here. Either draw around or touch that yellow and pop it out. He's definitely playing with weight.
Quite aggressive onto that black, and he's made it a lot open anyway. He's got rid of one yellow. Unfortunately, his blacks have scattered a little bit, but at least he can see the jack now. And
Lamy will put it back, put that pressure on.
yeah, and as Teri was saying, he won his gold star in 2002, which proved to be quite a good year for him because he actually won the Robertson Cup in that year, which is awarded to the player of the tournament. So
yeah, not many players can say that they've won that.
no, in that year he won the pairs and the fours in 2002. So probably a well-deserved winner of the trophy, I'd say.
Definitely. Oh, it would have been a dream year for anyone, but definitely for Grant Lamy.
Mike's responded beautifully there. He's managed to get down and draw the shot, which is just what he would have been after 3 down on the head, playing his third bowl, which was quite crucial, really. Takes a little bit of the pressure off of his last one, depending on what Grant does.
Yep, Grant will be looking at reaching up. Jack or bowl?
Looks close here. He's got the jack clean, maybe a fraction unlucky.
Fraction narrow, possibly,
Yep.
but I'd say he's holding one. But yeah, like you said, he has opened it up. Definitely room for Mike to draw in, or I'd say stick to that forehand. He's got the option to play onto that middle black and knock that in. Otherwise, he's finding that hole.
Yeah, you're right, Teri. He is coming down on that forehand there, so whether or not he thinks he's actually got the shot or just thinks it's a bit less risky. He's definitely reaching.
He likes it.
He's definitely
he
reaching.
might get a dream result here. He sure did.
Yeah, great result there from Mike. He knew what sort of weight he wanted to play, and he's got 2 out of it. So just sort of gives him that 3-point buffer again, which he'll be quite happy about.
Yeah, that was a two shots in one sort of bowl. I dare say he was 1 down, and he turned that into 2 up. So it's a very
I'd say,
good.
yeah, looking at the weight he played, I'd say he would have been 1 down. He was happy to reach the head. So yeah, dream result, and he's got down. almost emulated the last way going this way by drawing that jack refraction, but he's just run past. Not a bad start. So the score's 5-2 to Mike after 5 ends now, and it's a 12 end game, so we're coming up to the halfway stage. Still plenty of time left for Grant to make a comeback.
Definitely, and he's very capable of those comebacks. Even if Mike was 20-0 up, I'd say he still wouldn't be happy.
No, I mean, and Grant's a player, 3 points down with 7 ends to go. He won't be too worried at this stage. I mean, no one likes to be behind, but he'll just keep his composure and keep trying to score on every end.
Definitely. Grant Lamy playing on the backhand, and he's after that jack.
He's got it too. What a great shot. Fantastic shot there. He sort of eliminated Mike's front black from the end now. And it's almost in his line of sight for the draw, so he's going to have to start thinking outside the square, I think, here, Teri.
I think he'll have to look for the forehand on that black, split those yellows out.
Yeah, I think so, because it's his third bowl, so he does need to make something happen with this one, and if he does kill it, which is when the jack goes off the mat, it's only 2 points in singles, which he's 2 down at the moment anyway, so not a disastrous result.
Certainly playing with weight again. Oh, it just kept going out from there.
Yeah, held on him there, so...
If anything, it's made it harder for him.
Yeah, I think he'd be a little disappointed with that. Not only has he lost a bowl off the mat, but he did touch that yellow around a bit, which makes the shot a fraction harder.
Grant Lamy, what's the best way to put the pressure on my opponent?
Yeah, I think he'll be reasonably happy with the head the way it is. I think he's just going to try and fade around that black. Just having a look to make sure it's on. Just try and sneak around into the square and potentially put a third counter in to really put the heat on.
I think he's moved over in the box there, Shaun.
Yeah, just to get that
extra swing at the end there.
Oh, he's just got a small touch off the black, and it's taking a bit of weight off, but it's still got there. I think
that set Mike up for a shot on his backhand. Yep, he's on the backhand straight away.
Yep,
he'll be resting on that yellow that Lamy has just put there. Off he goes.
He's played it pretty well. Well, he's got a pretty thin edge, so straight onto the jack for a kill, but he was 3 down anyway, so 2 points to Grant. So I wouldn't say everyone's happy, but Michael, I think, only 2 points out of that end, which turned pretty pear-shaped on him, so...
Yes, it potentially could have been 4 shots to Grant Lamy, so you can't be unhappy with 2.
No, it was a bit of a save, really, so it makes it now 4-5 to Mike. Grant leading off now. He's looking to really put the pressure on now that he's back within 1 at the halfway stage.
Yes, he just dropped a little short there.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be entirely happy with that start.
I think it is a bit of a longer end, but yeah.
It looks like Mike's adjusted quite well, though. He started playing that forehand a bit more. Maybe he realised that he was just cutting his green fraction on the backhand, and forehand's the way to go, and he's actually been playing it quite well the last couple of ends.
That forehand definitely holds, doesn't it?
Yeah,
definitely at the end there.
Yeah, not as vicious, so a bit easier for the guys to take. Good shot there from Grant, drawing a toucher.
I'd say Mike will follow that down. There is the option of playing on the backhand though.
Yep.
Sneaking around that black.
Yep, and we haven't even really had a chance to touch on the fact that on Grant's island and national representative record.
Yes, he's represented both the South Island and the North Island teams.
Yeah, I think back he had a small break from the game. I think in the early 2000s there, and before there he was playing out of Otago, was it?
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah, so he played out of Otago and represented the South Island, and then obviously he's moved to the North Island and represented the North Island as well. So he's certainly achieved a fair bit, and he played in the New Zealand side as well. So
yeah, he debuted for New Zealand in '99. Forgive me if I'm wrong, Grant. And he played for a few years. Then he had a break, came back, and didn't take him too long before he made it again.
No, no, and that's a sign of the sort of player he is. You know, he can have a break from the game and come back just as strong, which is a real attribute.
Definitely. He was actually the captain of the New Zealand team this year, and they were super successful.
Yeah, it was a great team effort all round. He would have been definitely one proud captain, that's for sure. They actually had a record score this year. What was the score there, Teri?
55-11 to the mighty New Zealand.
The Matt Blacks, they named themselves, which I think was quite a good name, really. It was something that the bowling fraternity could, you know, have a bit of a say in, and yeah, 55-11, a record score, and it was on Aussie turf, so
Even better.
it made it, yeah, super sweet, I think, for the team. So yeah, Grant here will be looking maybe just to.
Play that black out.
No, I think he's drawing in behind, a bit of protection, Teri. He's pretty happy with how it's sitting. He's a bit concerned about that black onto the jack, so he was just trying to draw the square. He's probably come up a little short, but Mike's still got to play the shot. That's didn't want to give him anything to really run into with any sort of speed, I think.
Yeah. It would have been quite nice for Grant if he had locked those yellows in a bit better, but it is still locked in.
Yeah, you're right, and Mike.
That yellow won't be going far, and the jack could potentially come through that yellow split and
Yeah, I
set
mean,
a nice spot for yellow.
I don't know how it's quite sitting there, but Mike potentially has another shot on the forehand, which he has been playing. I think he's looking at it now. He's just put his foot there, either the outside edge of the black or maybe even on the inside of it, an edge onto the shot yellow. Don't know if it'll give me jack, but it'll definitely cut it down to one. So maybe a couple more options that side, because if he plays the backhand and it goes wrong, it could really go wrong for him.
Definitely.
So I think he'll just look to come down on the forehand there. He's taking his time. It's quite a crucial situation. You know, there's only one in front and we're at the halfway stage, so
He's only got one shot on. You're right, it is his forehand, but there is risk involved. Wide definitely is better than narrow.
so
He's playing it on the forehand.
No, the backhand he's decided to go.
Oh, sorry, backhand, yeah.
Looks like he's just going to play it safe and try and sit his black up and over.
That's a pretty good. He's got the shot here.
Well, it's pretty close. He's got a pretty good result out of that. He looked to be a fraction skinny, but he just caught enough of the yellow to sit it out of the way and then turn his black up and over. And yes, he has got the shot out of it. So Grant will be a little.
That was a brilliant result.
Yeah, Grant will be a little subdued after that, and it'll give Mike a lot of confidence, you know. So he kicks clear and two in front again.
I think he not only got away with probably a narrow bowl, he got a fantastic result. So, yep, he's 2 up, 5 ends to play.
Yeah, all to play for here. So Grant's really got to find something special in the next few ends. And Mike's he's just trickled that jack again. He's last 3 ends going this way. We've seen him just making sure he's reaching the head. So doesn't want to be short and give Grant an excuse to really punish him, which I think is a good thing.
Grant again, just sitting in behind Jack.
Yeah, great start there from Grant.
Could be wrong here, but the players who do have a gold star, I believe none of them have actually won the singles before.
I think you're right, Teri, which...
Sam Smith, I know, has at least been runner-up in the singles.
I think Grant has too. I'm
Grant
pretty sure...
Rayner has. He lost to the first woman ever to have won.
Yep, and I know Grant Lamy, I'm not sure if it was a final. I think it may have been the final when he lost to John Freeland from Waikato.
Yes.
So, yeah, I mean, out of the 5 people there, that's 3 that have made a national final and just haven't been able to get up at the final hurdle. So Grant, you know, obviously in the semi-finals here, maybe that's playing on his mind a fraction. Who knows? I mean, I dare say it wouldn't. You know, you wouldn't like to think a player of that caliber would let it get to him, but I guess we're all human in some way. So we'll see how he goes in these last 5 ends and whether or not he can really pick it up and come back.
Mike's opened it up here. There's a little channel for Grant Lamy. And he's almost found it. He's wriggled his way through.
Yeah, he may still be one down there. But he'll give himself a few options. He's got, like I say, he's got that position at the back.
Mike must have asked the marker who's holding.
Yeah. Just going to go and assess it himself and have a look from all angles. And
It's not really an easy shot for Mike here. Like, it's hard to decide what to do.
yeah, because even if he is one down, it's going to be pretty hard for him to get aggressive with Grant having back bowls.
And there's almost no point, even if he was holding, putting in a back bowl himself, because I mean Grant can easily play his black out without moving Jack.
Yeah.
Potentially, it is hard from this camera angle.
Yeah, so I think he's putting a fair bit of thought into it.
What are you going to do?
May have just had a little joke with Grant there, and possibly asked, well, what do I do? So
What do I do? Or can you please play my bowl?
yeah, or let me know what you're gonna play so I can protect it. On the forehand, and he looks to be
I think he's under the black here.
yeah, he looks to be just trying to sit in there. May have been one down anyway, so might make it a bit trickier for Grant here. So going to go and have a look.
No, he's in the way at the moment, but I think yellow is holding now. And if yellow was holding before that, I think Mike may have even improved the head, even if
Possibly,
he is
I
still one
think
down.
Grant still may have a little look down there and try and play a bit narrow and take the
Yeah.
closest black out and try and convert it into a big end, which is what we were saying earlier on.
Well, he's let it go.
And we
He's
await the
standing
result
up.
with anticipation.
Grant Lamy, what is your body saying?
Was a fraction wide. It looks like he ran into Mike's last bowl, which ended up being quite good because he did get another one on the head there.
So, the score is now 5-6. Mike Sackfield is still leading after 8 ends.
Yep, still hanging on to that slender lead, which he's had the whole game, really. He scored the
has.
first end and hasn't looked back. So, with only 4 ends to go, it's really starting to get tight and exciting, Teri.
Sure is.
Great start there from Grant. Played the backhand this time, and he's got Justin behind it, so he'll be really happy with that.
He's been so consistent, Grant Lamy.
Yeah,
He
I
doesn't
think,
miss much, and when he does, it's not by
no, I think
a
that,
huge margin.
yeah, I think that's his main attribute is he definitely gives every bowl a chance, and yeah, he never has a really bad miss. So even if he is slightly off, he's leaving his bowl with a chance to.
This looks good.
It's very good.
Oh, it's just pulled up.
Just pulled up there. So Mike will be looking on the forehand now to try and rest that back black and tuck the jack in a fraction. Do you think?
Yep, definitely. Sitting on that yellow's good. Getting the jack's good.
He's tracking reasonably well here.
Ooh, if it sat down for him, he was looking pretty good.
Just left a bit of a gap there for Grant. He's holding 2 shots though, so Grant's got to play the bowls. Down, is he going to sneak around that yellow? Oh, he just touched
enough.
It. Yep, just enough for one. I think he ideally would have liked the jack clean, but he'll be happy nonetheless.
There's no time limit on the semi-finals or the finals, which is a really good thing because there's enough pressure as it is without having to play the clock as well.
Yeah, and not many people would play the clock as such, but something to keep in the back of your mind. You've only got 30 minutes right up until the semi-finals. So in the quarterfinals, it's quite a high pressure situation, and you've got 30 minutes to play 12 ends, and which is enough time, but you do want to make sure you're being methodical and at that stage of the game. You've been playing a long, hard day, so it's good not to have to worry about it in the semi-finals, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely handy that the players can take all the time that they like, all the time that they're comfortable with. And I think it certainly brings out the best bowls, which is what you want at this stage of the tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. The crowd stuck around to hopefully see, what's been the best players in the National Singles Championship, so they deserve every chance. Grant looks like he's just trying to draw close, and I dare say he's holding one yellow, but maybe a chance for Mike to get a little aggressive here, but he's got to be a bit careful, so maybe just a fraction over on split the blacks maybe, and just try and sit the yellow out maybe.
Yeah, definitely.
And even if
He
it
might lose his back black, but that yellow's going anyway, and he'll still sit those front two blacks.
yeah, and even if he did get a fraction skinny, he's only gonna sit the black onto the jack there, and at worst go one down out the back. So I think it's probably worth having a crack because Grant doesn't have another bowl.
Yeah, I think the worst, no matter what happens here, he'll go one down. That's the worst that'll happen.
Be a fraction wide. He may have got a
Ooh.
result. Has he done enough to get one out of there? I'm not too sure.
He certainly whiskered the jack, and then I thought he was up, but then he sat back down.
Having a good look in there.
Could be 2 touches, which would make it a drawn end. That means no one will score, but the end gets carried down.
Yeah.
So they're all just peeling those bowls out.
Give a clear look at the situation. Grant's had a good look down there, and he hasn't conceded, so looks like it may have been one yellow, or was it 2 touches?
Could be a drawn end because Grant Lamy did start the last end.
Yep, you're right. The score is still 6-5, and we've played 9 ends now, so Mike's still 1 in front with 3 ends to go.
Mike probably had the better bowls that end, I feel.
Yeah, he definitely had 4 really well grouped bowls, and he's probably a fraction unlucky not to capitalise. And Grant's kicked right back to the toucher.
But then in saying that, Lamy has had some really good ends where Mike has got that one bowl in there just to do enough to score.
Yeah, and I mean,
they're both playing well though.
Yeah, as players, it does only take that one shot, and sometimes, if it's going for you, if it's your day, it's your day. So that's what Mike will be hoping. Coming down on the backhand, maybe just to disturb it a little bit, which is what he's done.
Yeah, great bowl.
Yeah, great shot there.
They've been playing good length ends all game.
Yeah, we haven't had a short end yet. I think.
The first end was probably the shortest.
Yeah.
Caught up.
Which is quite interesting. They're both obviously comfortable with the mat and backing their ability to draw. So that's good to see. Grant's played a fantastic shot there. Just drawing the jack away. 2 shots.
I think it's the 3rd time the jack has been moved coming this way.
At least, yeah, Teri. I mean, it's been a feature of the game, really, is that they've been playing a lot of off-centre jacks going this way, which isn't always easy.
No, it isn't.
Mike.
Oh,
what a
found that hole
fantastic
beautifully.
shot that was. You see the 2 supporters that we can see in the foreground there showing their appreciation, and the rest of the crowd was doing the same, and you saw Mike give a fist pump there.
Yeah, he sure did. He definitely shows emotion. Oh, he's following that up.
Grant's played an even better shot perhaps. He's managed to get in there and get the shot.
What you can do, Mike, I can do better.
Exactly.
Mike's got to change to the forehand now. He's got the option of sitting his black in, otherwise he's underneath and sitting on the yellow or drawing a touch on the jack. Doesn't have too much room to move though.
No, I think he's just going to go and check and see how much room's at the back of the mat, because Grant did move the jack a fraction further back than it already was, so just double check to see what he's got to play with down there.
Sometimes when you have a closer look you realise actually there's heaps of room. And so build up some courage.
He looks to be reaching the head here.
Black. Oh, he'll be happy it missed the jack though.
Yeah, I mean the kill there would have been a bit unfortunate for him, but not too much harm done. He did sit his bowl a bit further away from the head, but definitely gave his bowl every chance.
Yeah, it's not always easy when the jack's that close. It's very easy to pull short in that situation.
Yeah, quite
bit
easy.
of nerves and...
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to be short because it's sometimes seen as a bit of a wasted opportunity, so a bit of a catch-22 really.
Lamy's on his backhand.
Well, he looks to be playing...
Is he after that black?
He was definitely after that black, and he has got it.
Oh, he's sitting for 3.
Yeah, his bowl set off the back of the net, so he must have just caught the inside half of it, but enough to get it off for 3 shots. So this is real pressure now for Mike, because there's only 2 ends to go after this, and could be the first time Grant's been in front the whole game.
You're right. That was well played by Grant. Good opportunity. He saw it. He grabbed it.
Yeah, and it was reasonably 100% safe, because he always knew that his bowl was drawing away from the head and the jack, so yeah, he assessed his risk and reward and went for it.
There's room for Mike to draw second shot here.
Yeah, I think that's what he'll be doing, backing himself.
Wasn't far off with his third bowl. Just a touch heavy.
Yep, and he is drawing. Has he got enough to get
To be
around the yellows?
Oh, it's just his green, I think.
Oh, yeah, he had pretty good weight. I think he may have done enough to cut 1 out, so it might just be the 2 down. We're going to have a look.
Lamy has bird's eye view, so he's obviously comfortable that it was just the 2.
Yeah, I think you're right, which does put him in front for the first time in the game, which
with 2 ends to go.
Yeah, Mike won't be too disheartened, with 2 ends to go. He's only 1 behind, so if he scores here, he's going to be, no worse than all square last end, which has been a great tight game, so quite a fair score, I'd say, Teri.
Yeah, you're right. Definitely reflects the game.
Great shot there from Lamy. He's really starting to put the acid on now.
So Mike's been in the lead for 9 ends. Grant Lamy's been in the lead for 1 end. But it's at the right time of the game. Yeah, and so he'll think, sure, it's only 1 end, but as long as I can do it for the next 2, I'll be happy. Yeah,
and it's all to play for, a spot in the national finals. Mike will be hungry for another national title. He's got 1 and a couple of runners up, so he knows what it's like to lose a final. So he'll be wanting to really get in that final and get a win under his belt. And obviously Grant, looking for the full 4. So yeah, they both must be feeling the nerves. I'd say it can't be easy out there. And Mike played a great shot there.
And yeah, sure, Grant Lamy's got his gold star, but it doesn't mean there's no goals left.
No, that's right. If he didn't have any ambitions, I don't think he'd be playing the game. So, he wants to improve his record, and as he should. So, he's come down here. He's got his tail up a bit, I think. He's playing nice positive bowls. And
playing with confidence. Yeah. Always a good thing.
Mike's going to try and either rest his black down or draw just past it, I think. Looks like he's going for the black with a fair bit of weight.
Sure is. He got the bowl. I thought he had the jack for a second there.
Just clipped that yellow rather than going end over end onto the jack and taking out the back. So he'll be a little disappointed, but still not a bad result.
He would have definitely been sitting well if he grabbed that jack, but no worries.
Yeah, Grant will be looking.
He does have the last bowl for the first time.
Yeah, he does. So, well, not the first time, because Grant definitely has scored him for sure, but and Grant's made a great reply there. He's changed the head, and he's got a bit of a position bowl on that back black as well. So Mike's going to have to decide whether or not to get aggressive or just try and draw and maybe go 1 down or just get the shot.
I'd say he'll look for the black, to be honest.
Yeah, if he turns the black over, he could get the perfect result would be, the black onto the jack and 2 shots out the back. It is probably a touch risky.
Not quite sure that'd be how it happened though. I think his best result is just the black onto the yellow.
Yeah, I think the
angles are a little bit hard.
He's going to play the backhand this time. He doesn't want to play the forehand and chip it out, so a lot safer this time.
Yep, black onto yellow. He'll give it a chance, as opposed to a draw where.
Is he a touch skinny? Is he?
Oh, he got away with it again, I think.
It's just on that hand, a touch skinny, but yeah, I think he has got a result there. Yeah. 1 black, and he'll be very happy with that.
Shall we get back to the first end?
He was. Lamy will be thinking, not again.
Yeah, all square now, I think it should be, going into the last end. Incredible stuff. 7-all after 11 ends of 12. What a great matchup it's been. It's anyone's game now.
Oh yes it is. Grant Lamy does have the advantage of last bowl here.
And that can't be underestimated either, you know, because Mike's always going to be wondering, you know, how can I completely seal off this head so that Grant doesn't have a chance.
Yeah, he won't want to be wasting any bowls this end.
And sure enough, true to form, that Jack moved off centre again on the backhand over towards that corner of the tee. So the guys they'll both know what they're doing here. And
yeah, they've both been so consistent with their opening bowls. And their jack throws.
great shot here from
Lamy.
Grant. Oh, what a great shot. Last end really put the heat on.
Couldn't have played that any better.
No, Mike would have been pretty happy with his opener, and now he's
probably having another joke to Lamy.
yeah, sounds like he's looks like he's having a bit of a chat over there, just to, you know, lighten the mood and maybe take a bit of maybe it's a way of taking a bit of pressure off himself, and he can get down and he's just gonna reset himself here. Got to have a bit of a top, and it's a huge bowl here, so I don't want to make any mistakes.
Yeah, will he draw the jack off just like Lamy did to him, or will he sneak around it? Either one's good.
I think he played with enough weight to give it a chance. He likes it too, he's after it. He's
Right,
got
rub off the black.
touch off the black, and he's moved out of that.
That jack's out that back again.
Yeah, not easy for Grant now, because he's got to play the forehand, which is slightly a bigger swing, so be interesting to see if he can hold it and reach that black. Maybe something in the crowd just caught his eye.
Just going to stand up, and that way he can start all over again. He's not down there still.
Just keep going.
I think the fire alarm could potentially be going off here. Teri, interesting.
That's right.
It's nothing too much to worry about. I think it was just accidentally set off, so they'll continue on. It's all being sorted now.
Probably not the best timing.
No, maybe it did give him a time to
But
reset and
Grant
rethink though.
Lamy
Hasn't let it phase him at all. He's just got down and nailed it. He'll be happy with that.
And that is the kind of player he is.
Yep, even in the face of adversity, no worries. Get down and stick to business. Mike will be looking to do the same here.
I think he's got good green, Shaun.
He does. How's his weight? Oh, is he a fraction under? Not much though. He'll be a bit.
Fraction wider would have got him the shot.
Yeah, be a bit disappointed with that, but he's still got another one to fix it. Lamy on the forehand again, just looking to consolidate out there, I think.
Oh, his body language says
Yeah,
it all.
he's hungry. He's really hungry for this, I think. What's he done? He's set
Drawing
on his,
another one.
Yeah, he's drawn another one on the shot yellow there, so
Definitely putting the pressure on.
yeah, this is a huge bowl from Mike now. Obviously, you know, 7-all, you're down and you've got your last bowl in your hand, so he knows he wants to give it a chance. He can't.
Again, he's just having a
Yeah,
recheck to
try and
Lamy.
take the pressure off himself a bit, and it's the way of dealing with it. So he'll want to give this one a bit more of a chance than his last one, but maybe he gave it every chance.
Yeah, I mean, 2 down is just as bad as 1 down
He's
at this
definitely
stage.
got good green.
Oh, he's got
How's he
brilliant
looking?
green.
He likes it. He's
On
up.
the
He's
jack.
on the jack.
Oh,
It's just trickled off the back. Oh,
he's picked that bowl up. He's not happy, but there is an extra end.
yep. So
Kill on the last
a
end.
kill on the last end. It can be replayed. Man, that was such a great effort, and he can't be disheartened by that. He gave it every chance to get the shot.
If he stayed on the mat with that jack, I would quite bravely say that he would have won the game.
Well, yeah, I mean, Grant wouldn't have had much option but to kill it and be playing an extra end, and look what's happened, you know, the extra end is going to be the shortest end we've probably played, and he's gone back to the backhand.
Yes, he's back to the backhand on a shorter end.
Yeah, so
maybe he's changing things up, but
yeah, just trying to change it up, but yeah, just that fraction narrower game, so whether he's just trying to change the game a bit on Grant to mix it up and try and score a 2, because he's 2 behind now playing an extra end, and Grant obviously had the option there to decide who goes first, and he decided that he wanted last bowl again, and he
brilliant
responded.
opener.
Yeah, great opener there. A real pressure on Mike now. He's got to always be changing something here, I think.
narrower, so it must mean he's got a bit more weight.
Which he does. Oh, just a fraction narrow again. Nothing too much in it, you know. So he's, but he has left himself a chance still. Nothing.
Yeah, millimetres wider though, and he would have been sitting with 2, I dare say.
Yeah, it is a game of millimetres, that's for sure.
Lami's standing up again. He seems to like following his bowls.
He's pretty happy with that. Yeah, he's
Locked that yellow in.
locked that yellow in. So now it's getting really tricky for Mike. I'm just standing back, possibly having another chat.
What's Mike's best option at this point of the game, do you think?
Well, he has to try and change something because he does need 2 shots. So I think maybe on the backhand, drawing up, there is a bit of a gap in the yellow. So whether or not he can dislodge that, or even if he did get the jack may squeeze in between the yellow and black and come towards the camera shot there, and may give him a bit of a chance as well. So he is on the backhand.
You don't think it'll jar back to that yellow, maybe?
Soon find out. He is probably just a touch skinny again. He's shot it out to the side, and unfortunately it's gone over towards the yellows more so than the blacks. It's going to make it quite tricky. I think Brown will go the forehand and try and get one on the far side of the jack to the camera view there, just so he doesn't have any to hit.
Yeah, that jack certainly went in Lami's favour, not Mike's.
Brown will be wanting this to swing away, just so, yeah, great shot, right on the jack. I don't think there's too much Mike can do.
Mike's
He's shaking hands. He knew that he couldn't score 2 out of it. The jack was only going backwards, and that's a fantastic win for Grant Lamy. And what a great game.
Great game. Congratulations, Grant Lamy, and hard luck, Mike.
Yeah, all the
Thanks
best.
for commentating.
Yeah, thanks, Terry. It's been a pleasure, and good luck to Grant in the final.